legit.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vanisha Alexander Marshall. Welcome. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome as well. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the bottom and make sure you're clicking the bell so when I'm uploading on YouTube, you are notified. I'm in my new setting. So I'm going to be filming my first makeup tutorial in my new setting. So I'm going to start with the first tutorial in my new setup. I will be filming a makeup tutorial, a beginner friendly makeup tutorial for my ladies that are 40 and above, like myself. So reason being, a lot of you have been requesting that I do more makeup tutorials. So this is the perfect time to do a makeup tutorial for my ladies that are 40 and above. And this is your first time trying out makeup, or if you've been like me, been out of makeup for a long time and then you're getting yourself back into it. This is the perfect time. But you may be wondering to yourself, like what I was, okay, last time I wore makeup, first of all, they didn't make foundation shades my shade. What is this with a cut crease and all this stuff? They have all that. My biggest problem was foundation. I could never find a foundation that was my shade. So I'm going to bring for you guys step-by-step makeup tutorial for my ladies 40 and over, and not necessarily 40 and over. If this is your first time trying out makeup, this is a great time. So come on in, let's have a seat, let's chill, and let's do a beginner friendly makeup tutorial. First things first, you need to be sure that before you put on any makeup, make sure you are thoroughly cleansing your face. Do not put makeup on a dirty face. Make sure you're thoroughly cleansing your face. Okay. Particularly if you're putting on makeup and you may be in a hurry, or you don't really think about it, or you may even think, oh, just by doing a little wash up in the shower, that's it. But what's your skincare? Are you using skincare products, using a skincare cleanser? Are you using that? Because let me tell you, just basic soap and water, soap is going to dry your face out. And even when you're using your cleansers, make sure you're topping it with a moisturizer. Start with primer. Primer is very, very important. Primer also depends on your skin type. Do you have oily skin? Do you have combination skin? Do you have normal skin? Do you have dry skin? So I try to go more towards hydrating primers. However, not all hydrating products work for me, particularly with primers. When I'm dealing with a primer and a hydrating primer, that's awesome for the dry skin. But some hydrating primers make me look oily. And throughout the day when I wear it, I look oilier. And then I start looking like a grease ball. But you don't want to do that. So I have found some matte primers that does work with my dry skin. It was a lot of trial and error. Trust me, a lot of trial and error. But one primer that does work very, very well for me, and everything I'm using today, everything is drugstore. It is from Revlon. This is the Revlon Prime Plus Mattifying and Pore Reducing Face Primer. No, it says on here that it is mattifying. It works very, very well with my dry skin. How I put my primer on, I squeeze it out on my finger when it's like this, and it's a pretty thick consistency. As you can see, it's pretty thick. And I put it in my four corners. So I put one here, take another one out, put one here, take it out. Goes to show you how much I've used it. I'm almost at. So I put one here, squeeze, put one here. Next, let's have a seat. Let's talk. Let's have this conversation. Okay. I need to talk to particularly my ladies that are 50 and above. I need you to listen. I need you to pay attention, because the next step we finna move on to is foundation. Foundation. I was like that too. This is why I stopped wearing foundation, because my mom put foundation on me and I look gray. I looked like I was ready for the casket. When I tried to find foundation for myself, I could never find my shade. And the darkest shade they had was about light skin shade. And it was not dark for me. And I attempted a couple of times to wear foundation, didn't work. And then at the time, it was powder foundation. So you know I look like a cakey mess. But over the years, the brands have improved and expanded and now realize, yeah, you need to go a little darker because we can't wear them light shades. So it is very important, my ladies over 50, stop getting that foundation that makes you look gray and that you think is your shade and it is not. First of all, being gray is not an undertone. It ain't your shade, okay? If you can see on the top, I have some discoloration right here, right up here. So darker foundations, I can get away with a darker foundation, particularly here in my forehead area because I'm darker right here. But in this area, I'm light. Here, you can see I have more discoloration up in here. I have some more discoloration here, but as you get closer to here, I'm lighter. I always match my chest. Ladies over 50, you need to find a foundation that's gonna match your chest. Test the foundation out. I know some places are now allowing you to test makeup out since we've been in a pandemic. But before the pandemic, you could test makeup out and y'all ain't testing that makeup out. I'm gonna need you to test makeup out, okay? Find an area that matches your chest because you're not gonna be able to just go in the store and just rub it on your chest. No. I find an area like on my arm here. My arm is the same. This area is the same shade as my chest area. When I'm in the store, I will put the foundation here because it's going to match here, which also matches this part of my face. The reason why you hear us say match to your chest, you want one uniform color, which is why we drag our foundation to our neck. So my ladies over 50, pay attention. Undertones. Know your undertones. There are several undertones. You have your warm undertone. You have your golden undertones. What they mean by a warm undertone, warm is just what it is. It's red. That's what it is. It's just red. It's just red. Some warm undertones for me do work. Vast majority of them do not work. Do not work. Because I will look like a cherry. Okay? Neutral undertones is what I usually go for, particularly if it's neutral with a golden undertone. What they mean by golden undertone is just what it means. It's gold, it's yellow. I want something with some yellow in it because in these areas here, when I do like a golden undertone, it's going to match my skin. What they mean by a cool undertone, cool is you're not warm, but you're getting less than warm, which is cool. So it's gonna be more of an orangey undertone, more orange. Now, if you hear people say it's olive, you may have something with an olive undertone. And olive is green, so it is a shade with a green undertone. Now, for us ladies of color, we're not gonna get a perfect match. Sometimes you have to mix two foundations. I'm not the type of person that likes to mix two foundations. I think that's a little much, but if you have to, you have to. But go as close as you can. It's okay to go a little darker. Don't go too dark, because if you go too dark, you're gonna look like mud, and you don't wanna do that. So I found a foundation that is the right undertone for me, and it works like a dream, and it is drugstore. Milani Screen Queen Foundation. The shade number I am in is 460, which is warm bronze. Here it is. You may think it's a warm undertone. Actually, it's not. The undertone is yellow or golden. It is a neutral with a golden undertone. This foundation works like a dream. So what I do, you have some people that dot it on. Some people put one pump or anything. When it's like this in a pump, I will squeeze it out. But the amount that I squeeze out, it turns out to be a pump is what it is. Because if I put one pump, it's going to evenly distribute, and I'm probably going to have some product left over. I don't do a lot of foundation. I know you see a lot of ladies, they want to pile on all this foundation. please, if you're just starting out with makeup, you don't need all that foundation. A little bit goes a long way. So let me show you my method. I'll take it, I squeeze it right here, but I don't squeeze out very much. Y'all may think I do. I'm not going very far with it. I'm doing maybe a quarter of a pump. So I take it, once it comes out, like this. What I'm doing is once it comes out, if I can get it, there it goes. I am dragging it. And I'm not really, as you can see, I'm not going all the way down with this pump. I'm not going all the way down with the pump. I do the same here. It's like a quarter of a pump, squeezing it out. I'm really just dragging the foundation. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Same here. I'm not going very much, just a little. Again, I'm not all the way down with the pump. So 4 quarters is going to give me 1 full pump. I'm only doing a 1/4 of a pump on each of my 4 corners, which would equal to a pump. I don't do a lot of foundation. I am one of those people. I like light to medium coverage, preferably light coverage, because I work a 9-to-5 job, and on the days I wear makeup, I don't need to look piled up and cakey. I really, really don't. Next is once you get your foundation on, you have to blend it out. 2 ways you can blend it out. You can blend it out with a foundation brush. And this is just an example of a foundation brush that I have. This is a foundation brush, and it's flat. However, we're going to use a sponge. Yeah, I know you may think this is the actual beauty blender. This is an excellent beauty blender dupe, and it's a well-hidden secret. This little sponge right here costs $6, and you can find this at your local Walmart. This sponge here, I feel, is much better than the actual beauty blender. This little number here came from Black Opal. I take the butt of the sponge, and you're gonna put it on your face, and you're gonna dab it. I dab. This coverage here is a great coverage for me because, again, I'm one of those people, I don't like full coverage foundation. I'm taking it and putting it all over. Now, if you don't feel that this is enough and you need to do another squeeze of the foundation, you can do that. I have done that to where, okay, I didn't put enough, but I also don't want to go overboard with my foundation. You want to look as simple and natural as you possibly can without people looking at you and they can tell you got foundation on. You don't want to do that. And you see, I'm dragging my foundation down. I'm also taking the foundation and I'm blending it all over my face. I take the foundation and I'm blending it down my nose, all over. Whatever's remaining, I do put it over my eyes because you do, again, want to look uniformed. If you want a little more coverage, whereas you hear people say buildable coverage, all you're going to do is go in for maybe another 1/2 a pump or so, 1/4 to 1/2 a pump for more coverage. Or if you want to go for the full 2 pumps for that full coverage, you can. You have some foundations that are full coverage. With me, I'm not into really big full coverage, but I have learned to master how to take full coverage foundation and make it look like it's just medium coverage. Next is concealer. Concealer can be used in several ways. Concealer can be used as your foundation. Concealer can be used as hiding spots on your face, or you're trying to cover up some spots on your face. Concealer can also be used as highlighter to highlight and also hide like fine lines like what I have. I have lines under my eyes. You can hide circles or anything that you have going on. So find a concealer. What I do for concealer, I do 2 things with concealers. I'll get a concealer that is my skin tone, and then I'll get a concealer that is a shade or so, a couple of shades lighter for brightening under my eyes, as well as helping to conceal some circles and lines that I have. We're gonna stick with Milani. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer. The shade I have is shade number 155, which is Cool Sand. As you can see, it is a little lighter. I will use this concealer for brightening and to form my contour. I'm going to show you how I do a reverse contour. Now, usually when I do the reverse contour, usually don't contour. So I take the concealer when it's brighter. Now, I know you're seeing a lot of people that put the concealer here and then they'll do a little right here. They do the same thing here. They're putting the concealer here and then you find it here. That is for people if you want something sharper with your eyeshadow, if you wear eyeliner and you want something sharp, as well as you take that concealer and you want more coverage. That is fine when you do that, but that's for more of the more advanced, more experienced person that knows how to put on concealer. You're a beginner, you're just starting out. So let me show you a way I do my concealer, and I've done this in videos time and time and time again. It works, trust me. I take my concealer, I do one swipe, I put it right here, down the bridge of my nose, and I'll put some here, and I'm going to go here. That's it. You want to look as simple and as natural as you possibly can. Some people let their concealers dry down. That's fine too if you let it dry down. But when you let it dry down, it's going to give you more full coverage and it's going to brighten you even more so. If that's not what you're looking for, go ahead and start blending that sucker in. That's what I do. I take the end part of the sponge and I take it and I start with the tip. I start blending the concealer. If I get the concealer on my eye, that is fine. I am beginning to put the concealer on my eye to prime my eyes for my eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that remaining concealer. You're going to see I'm not going to add no more concealer to prime my eyes. The concealer I already put here, I'm also dragging it to my eyes to prime my eyelids to prepare for the eyeshadow. Now, if you're one of those people that do their eyes first, you need a little bit of concealer. Don't go overboard. Now, as you can see, with me doing my concealer, I dragged the concealer all the way up here. I am forming my reverse contour. And as you can see with that little bit went a long way. You don't need to do all that with that concealer. Even if you don't want the swipe I did and you want a little less, just don't apply as much pressure. You can dot it on. When you dot it on, it's still going to give you enough coverage. Trust me. Okay, so we have that done, as well as I'm forming my reverse contour. For the bridge of my nose and for up here, you want to create a bit of a shadow. So I'm going to take it and I blend it. And I'm going to, I start with a swipe, but then I start to pat to create the shadow. I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose. Again, I'm creating contrast. I am creating brightness. For down here, I'm going to do this. And then the reason I have that, I'm going to blend it up. I am forming my contour. So guess what I did? Without even needing bronzer powder, I contoured. Without even needing to contour. Next, we're going to set our face with setting powder. So for me, I set my face twice. Here is the reason I set my face. If you've been watching me for a long time, you always hear me say, I set my face twice. That's because I'll use a lighter setting powder and then I'll use a setting powder that is my skin tone. So the first setting powder I'm going to use, the name is rubbed off. I'm trying to use the last of it. It's probably going in the garbage. This is from Black Radiance. It is their True Complexion Loose Setting Powder in Banana. As you can see, I have used the living snot out of it. You're my skin color. You're a woman of color. banana powders are going to be your best friend. I do use translucent powders. You have to be kind of careful with translucent powders because you leave the translucent powder on your face too long, you're going to brighten up. Now with setting powders, a lot of people press their setting powders in. I bake. Reason why I bake is I'm trying to form more of my reverse contour. Plus, I don't want to look oily. I want to set my makeup, and I'm mainly setting where I have my concealer. That's where I'm setting. I also set up here because I do tend to sweat from time to time up here, which is why you'll see me put setting powder up here. You don't have to do that. Again, this goes back to your skin type, your skincare, how your skin works, and how you know your skin. So I'm going to start with my banana powder. Banana powders are more, it fits us better than the white translucent powder. But some white translucents can work, but if you're darker than me, a white translucent powder, you're not going to like a white, no, that's going to look bad. So what I do is I just took it. I'm going to take some excess off. Sometimes I'll push it off because I don't need that much. So I take it and I set. And as you can see, that's the setting powder. This is me baking. If you don't want to bake, you don't need that much setting powder that I had. You just need a little bit, dab it off, press it in until you can't see it anymore. I personally don't like that because I feel like I'm caking. I really feel like I'm cakey, and I can feel the makeup more when I press it into my skin, and I don't like pressing it in. So I tend to bake. And again, where you see me putting it, I'm putting it in the areas I had my concealer. I just put it up here because, again, I do sweat in my forehead, on my forehead, and I look like I've been ran underwater. So I'll just put it here. It also helps with contrast. That is it with the setting powder. Now, if you've heard of baking and people leave their bake on, the longer you let this sit, the brighter you're going to get. This is why I say I bake for no more than 60 seconds. So I am going in with my powder brush from Juvia's Place. You can find some of these brushes either on their website or in Ulta, on the drugstore side of Ulta. I'm going to take my powder brush. I'm going to sweep the remaining off. And as you can see, smooth me under here and continuing my reverse contour. I am taking it off on my forehead, sweeping it off here. And I'm taking that powder, as you can see, I'm taking that powder and putting it over my eye. You need to set that concealer that you've put on your eyelid for your eyeshadow base. You don't want wet eyelids when you're putting them on your eyeshadow and you wondering why your eyeshadow not lasting. Yeah, because your concealer is still wet. So I have swept under, and as you can see, it brought out my contour even more so. So if it gets too bright, this is where I have my second setting powder. So for my second setting powder, again, I got this from Walmart. This is the CoverGirl Clean Professional Setting Powder. The shade I have is Translucent Honey. This shade is my skin tone. I will take this setting powder, and I have other setting powders that is my skin tone. And as you can see, oh, I'm wasting some. It's my skin tone. It's brown shade. I take some of this. I dip my brush in it. And I'm going to take the excess off. I have to just flick it off. Or you see some people tap it in the top. I take whatever's remaining. Again, my four corners. Here, 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 and here. That's it. Then I'm going to take it and buff. I'm going to buff it into my skin. All right, since I'm done with that, next, bronzer. Now, bronzer, this is where it gets a little conflicted for me. A lot of people use bronzer to contour. That's fine. But when you bronze, don't say you're bronzing and you're bronzing in the area where you're contouring. That, to me, that is a contour. When you're contouring, you're chiseling out to bring more color to your face. Particularly, contouring is good when your foundation is too light and you need to bring the color back into your skin. That's when I contour, when I know it is too light. So that's just a little something for you. When you know your foundation is too light and you need to bring some color, that's when you contour, okay? That is when you contour. The palette I'm going to use today from Black Radiance, this is their True Complexion Contour Palette. I am in medium to dark, so this is what I'm going to use. This is the powder one. And as you can see, the contour portion, the contour, I've hit pan. So I'm not going to use this, even though I did say I was going to contour. I'm not going to contour today, but I'm going to use the middle shade to bronze. So this is my bronzing shade. I'm almost at pan with this one because I do use this bronzing shade a lot. So I'm just going to put it on. I'm putting it on. And any excess I have left over, I'm going to tap it off because I don't need that much on. So I'm going to take whatever's remaining and I'm buffing it in. Next, blush. Blush is one of those, when you're my skin tone, us ladies of color, we can't go for the super light pink, because if we go for a light pink blush, you're not going to see it on our face. You're not going to see it. You have to go a little darker with your blushes. But if you're lighter, and those light pinks is going to work perfect on you. For us ladies that are over 40 particularly, you need a darker blush because that pink blush ain't going to show. So we're going to go affordable even more so at a brand. They have some very good blushes and their blushes show up. We're going to go with LA Colors. This little small palette that you pay $1 for at your local Dollar Tree. You pick up this blush. This is the shade Toast. So we're going to take that. I don't use the little brush in here. I use this brush. This brush is the Wet n Wild brush. Again, I paid $1 for this brush at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the blush and I'm going to roll it in. Just buff it in. I think I took too much off. All right, so I have some blush. Look at that blush. And it's helping my contour. It is helping my contour. You would like to highlight. I'm not going to highlight today, but you just put just a little highlight just above your cheek. You know what? Let me go ahead and do that. This highlighter brush, I love this brush. This is a Morphe highlighter brush that I got from Ulta. I just went and picked it up. I think this was $4. I think it was $4. Was it $4? $3? I think it was $4. I don't know. I'm going back into the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. And as you can see on the very end, they have a highlight shade right here. So we're going to use the highlight shade. So we're going to use just a little bit. And I'm going to go both sides because this highlight in this palette is a little subtle. And if you're one of those, you don't want no blinding highlight, that's fine. Highlighting is starting to get a little old. But if you're one of those, you want a little shimmer and you want to show your cheekbones a little bit more, that's where the highlighting comes in. So I just take a little bit and I'm just going to lightly dust the highlighter. And you see the little bit of the glow. And I put a little right here, right above my eyebrow, right in this area to show contrast. So see, when the light hits it, you're going to see a little glow right here. Next, eyeshadow. All right, I know, like I said earlier, people like to do their eyes before their face. You're a beginner. Don't try that because you're going to mess up. Don't do it. You don't need to pile on all that eyeshadow for a beautiful eyeshadow look. I do 2 shades. I do 2 shades. If I'm real frisky, I'll do a halo eye, which is 2 matte shades, one in here, one out here, and then in the middle, you have a shimmer. That is called a halo eye. I'm not into cut creases. Cut creases, you have to be skilled and advanced to do cut creases. You can do a fake cut crease. I have done a fake cut crease. I'm not into all the cut creasing. Simple makeup is really all you need. And you can get away with eyeshadow with just one shadow. For me, I do two. I'll do a matte in my crease and I'll do a shimmer on my lid. That is what we're going to go with today. A matte and a shimmer. Trust me, people are going to notice your eyes and you don't have no halo eye and all this other stuff going on. You don't need all that. So the eyeshadow palette I'm going to go with today, one of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes. This is the Covergirl True Blend Sunset Eyeshadow Palette. So we're going to go with Covergirl today. These eyeshadow palettes are really pigmented, gives a lot of color, and you just need a little bit. So the brush I'm going to go in with today, go to Ulta, go to the Morphe stand, and get you one of these little brushes. Okay? Okay. They sell the brushes at Morphe. So get this little brush. Go to the Morphe side in Ulta. Okay? Okay. So this little eyeshadow, I believe it was $12.99. I've had this for a while. I don't remember the exact price. I am going to go in with this burnt brown shade right here. The reason why I go for these shades a lot, if you've been following me for a long time and you notice I use these shades, because sometimes when I'm at work, I don't need a bright eye, and where I work, I'm gonna look crazy and I'm gonna stand out like a sore thumb. So that's why I don't go with the crazy eye looks. So I just tap the eyeshadow. You see how much color it gives? I'm gonna tap the excess off because I don't need that much. So I'm going to go in my crease area. Your crease, see where your eyeball and this little divot here? This is your crease. I go in my crease and I will apply the color, go back and forth, windshield wiper motions, and I'm putting the color in my crease. Now, you may say, that's a lot of eyeshadow. I thought you would just put it in the crease area. Sometimes I like to go for the blown out look. And sometimes with the blown out look may look like you got 2 or 3 shades under in one shade. And trust me, I have gotten so many compliments with my eyeshadow. I just have on 2 shades. See? I didn't go overboard with my eyeshadow. See? Next, I'm going to go with a shimmer. Again, I'm going to use another Morphe brush. Again, you can find at your local Ulta. I'm going to go for the shimmer shade, the pink shimmer that is right next to it. I'm going to go for that. The reason why you see this little brush is a little bit wider. People use it for putting on concealer or something like that. I use it for my shimmer because I just use it all over my lid. That is what I use it for. So I'm going to take the remaining. I've already taken the excess off. I'm just going to do a swipe motion and put the shimmer on. I am blending the shimmer into the matte shade. Now, once you do that, it's going to look like you have a sharp line. We're going to get rid of that sharp line. See how I did that? I have a shimmer. All right, see? We have our eyeshadow on. And I didn't have to go crazy with my eyeshadow. Now, once I have my 2 shades on, I have a shimmer at the bottom, I have the matte at the top. I'm going to go back with my brush that I used as my crease color, which is the matte shade. I am going to go back and I'm going to go mainly where the shimmer is. I'm going to blend the 2 together. I don't want to see a sharp line. I want to look more put together. I'm not adding no extra product or anything. And I'm also, whatever was remaining that got a little crazy or a little messy with the shimmer, I'm blending it out, making it look a little more put together. I am not going all the way on the lid. I'm staying more in between the crease and where the shimmer met the crease. That is where I'm staying. What I'm finna do next is set my face with setting spray. The reason you set your face before your mascara is because if you put that mascara on and then you set your face, that mascara gonna run. That happened in North Carolina. Trust me, my husband was mad as a dog. I accidentally put my mascara on before I set my face with setting spray. The mascara ran. I had to start my makeup over. Always set your face before your mascara. If you see some influencers, they cover their eyes and put setting spray on. You're playing with fire. I did that. I still ended up having to redo my makeup because the mascara ran. So the setting spray I'm using today, this is from Wet n Wild. I'm using their matte finish setting spray. It's gonna leave me with a matte finish. We use setting spray to lock our makeup in place. So if you're a person like me, work a 9-to-5 job, you want your makeup to last a long time. You're gonna set your face, shake it first, and then set your face. That is it. So I let it sit on my face and locks everything in place. Now I put on my mascara. So I go with a mascara that brings me a lot of volume and gives the look like I'm wearing false lashes. So one of my favorite mascaras. Again, I picked this up at Walmart. I need another bottle. Another tube rather, because I didn't use the snot out of it. This is from L'Oreal. This is their Voluminous curved a mascara. Here it is. This is the one in the gray tube. This is an awesome mascara. This mascara is so awesome. Awesome. Do you hear me? The Age Perfect mascara from L'Oreal, awesome. It is awesome. And all I do is I take the mascara, put it on my top lashes. See how much volume that is giving me? See how this mascara gave me lashes. Gave me lashes. All right, last but not least, lips. So we do the lips last. Lipstick I'm going to use today. Look here. Go to your local Dollar Tree and you're going to pay $1 for this lipstick. They have some very good lipsticks. They have some lipsticks that's actually good for us ladies of color, and you're not going to be disappointed. So the lipstick I'm going with today, this is from Colormates. This is the Colormates lipstick. This is their brown shade. I'm going to use this today. Again, if you're a beginner and you're just getting into makeup and you don't have the money to spend to go to Sephora and you're just getting started with makeup, go right there to your local Dollar Tree, pick up this Colormates lipstick, and you'll be just fine. Look at this lipstick. And it's so creamy. And that is it. This is your beginner-friendly makeup look. As you can see, I didn't go overboard with my makeup. I didn't have to do a cut crease or a halo eye or anything like that. I do 2 shades and that is it. A simple lipstick I got from the local Dollar Tree, and everything is drugstore. That you could go to your local drugstore, or you could go to the drugstore side of Ulta and you can pick up these products. That does include the Morphe brushes. You can get that at Ulta. So again, this is your beginner-friendly makeup look, step-by-step tutorial, particularly for my ladies that are 40 and over. And I hope for the foundation portion, for my ladies that are 50 and over, please pay attention to your undertone and make sure you don't get that gray foundation. So I hope I was a help to you. With that being said, this is Venetia Alexander Marshall. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.